Hello, listeners. Welcome to the Dream Stream of Consciousness. I am Yiska Cook.
And I'm Ellen Ronas. Good morning, afternoon, I
It's
guess for
not
you.
it's not morning here.
Good morning. Good
Happy
day.
morning. Good day to you, Ellen.
Uh,
So I know this is not a political podcast. This is dreams, but my dreams are leading me to political things, and so I'm just gonna go with it, if you don't mind.
of course.
So So it started when George H.W. Bush was president. I felt like he was evil incarnate. I was like an activist, college student, um, until I met his son, which is, I don't mean to be so harsh, but it's just my like
Get it.
budding liberal feelings.
Hmm.
And I dreamed I was on a train and I was walking through a cart, and all of a sudden, George H.W. Bush had a heart attack, and everyone just kind of ignored it or didn't notice it. And I held him up in my arms, which was so interesting for me.
Mm.
Um, and I want to get back to that when I really look at that in one moment, if I may, because I want to go on with my political dreams. Now, this dream, I had a dream. I had a dream that Clinton made a pass at me, but that's just so obvious and silly. I more expect I was in the liminal place, going to sleep, thinking about politics or something. I don't have that clear of a
Mm.
memory of that. But okay. And then when George W. Bush was running for president, I had a dream that he was in a barn, like a large barn with a stage, very large, filled with many, many people. And he was, cowboy boots, cowboy hat, and he was, excuse me, just joshing around with them. And they were laughing. And at the time, and then I woke up and I said, oh no, Bush is going to win, and I think that was Bush Gore. Um, and and so he did. Then I had a dream about Obama. I think like two or three dreams, and about when Michelle was in it and the girls, which was very interesting. They were very young in that dream. I mean, when the family first got into the White House, that's the age that the older girls were in my dream. Um, and what I remember mostly about that dream is hugging him, and it really felt like the muscles in his back, and that was very memorable. And then, oh, and I wanted to say something about that because one of my dear departed dream teachers, Robin Larson, was in a group that I was sharing about Obama and feeling his muscles. And she said to me, "You've got his back." And I said, I really like that way to interpret it. I
Yeah.
felt that way. She's a wise woman. Um, and then, oh, very recently, I had a dream that Trump had a heart attack.
Mm.
And always caution not to take a dream literally, though Robert Moss says there can be literal aspects or true aspects. I don't know if they would be literal. Um, but when I look at that, Trump had a heart attack, and then George H.W. Bush had the heart attack. To me now, it's very clear, and it means they won't get reelection.
Oh.
He was a George H.W. Bush was a one-term president,
Mhm.
and I thought was the only one-term president in my lifetime.
It almost feels to me, if I might just interject, like
Please.
the heart not working is like the heart. If the heart doesn't work, it doesn't work.
It,
I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah. But
Pretty good.
I'm sure I judged Herbert Walker unfairly. I mean, just where I was at with my,
I don't know.
my
Yeah.
uh, but
That
but
disagree with
if
you
I'm
there.
not looking at it literally, right, the heart attack, I like that. If the
Mhm.
heart doesn't work, it doesn't work. So
Yeah.
that's really
Especially
good.
anymore, especially anymore, right? Like I
Yeah,
think we're in a time now where there needs to be something more.
yeah, yeah. So I just was really so interested in that because I feel like that was premonitory, no, not premonitory. It's a little bit maybe of seeing, or it could be, as Freud said, wishful thinking, if
Uh-huh.
you believe that.
Right, right, right. Yeah,
Oh,
could
I'm not
be.
wishing on him a hijack. I'm wishing him an only one term.
But wait, so all these dreams were like
Over the
recently?
year, no, over the years, over the long years of different
Yeah.
presidents and decades and different ages of myself. And
What does the president mean to you? Like, what is that all like?
oh,
What is a
what
president
a
to
good
you?
question. Well, he's the main executor, right? Executive. um, he's the commander in chief, or
Hmm.
she, or she, or
Yeah.
she.
But like, what does it mean even more deeper?
Right.
Like, what does that mean? Commander in chief, like in your heart, in your psyche or in your heart, like what does it mean to have, like does that does the president represent some part of yourself?
It must. Please help me to like think about this because nothing is immediately
I don't know. The president's the lead, supposedly the leader,
mhm,
right?
the
And God,
leader of the free world.
leader of the free world. Boy, have we had some shit ass leaders. Uh, we've had,
Yeah,
we had some great ones too, but anyway, we won't go there. But
yeah.
just,
I mean, I guess you have your dad. He's the head of the household,
mhm,
and then you may have el jefe, your bosses, right? And you can keep going and going. And then there's the president. And
mhm.
I mean, of course, there's state houses and all these steps, but this is like the big cheese. I don't know. I'm not sure. I really don't know what that means to me.
I guess I'm looking at it as again like a part of your own psyche,
Yeah.
right? Like the boss of you.
You're not the
like
boss of me.
like inner boss,
I was
you're
told that by two children that I raised at various stages.
and in
All right.
fact you are the boss of them at a sort of.
Yeah. But then when they're four, they
Yeah,
exclaim it.
right.
So I'm feeling that like in myself, I'm saying that to myself. Like what part I'm more the rebel. So,
Hmm.
you know, the idea of you're not the boss of me, if there are, levels of ourselves, I'm saying it to that part of myself because I want to rebel against it.
Hmm.
I have definitely the rebel instinct.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Hmm. So is there what would you like to know about all this kind of sequence of events or the sequence?
I'm just excited for what I believe that's indicating to me, which is that there won't be a second term.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I'm glad it doesn't have anything to do with the violence of that moment for
Hmm.
me, of that, you know, heart attack.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, I'm sure that has so much other significance, the heart, like the center, and you got to think with your heart sometimes, or that's what we learn.
Right. That's kind of what I'm saying in terms of like if you're not coming from the heart, it's not going to work in our culture anymore.
Yeah, right, right.
Like
We're not going back. Sorry. That's just a slogan of Kamala. So, so yeah, I think that's really it. If you're
Mhm.
not coming from your heart,
Yeah.
you know,
Is there anything more you want to know about it? About them all? About all this kind of it's interesting how you presented them as like a string of political dreams over the years, right?
yeah, yeah, exactly. That all goes into that
Yeah,
file.
yeah. And that's interesting that you remember things like I wouldn't. I don't remember things in that way, so it's kind of
Yeah,
cool to
yeah,
yeah, the theme, the theme.
yeah, yes. This is why it's good to title dreams.
Yes.
So
Mm.
that I went through all my, dream journals of 20 years, however many, and maybe just most of them. And I put little sticky colors of like, these are my political dreams. These are like dreams that may have foretelling. These are dreams of my deceased loved ones. These are animal dreams, when looking for what my totem might be. And it was very organized, and I never did anything with that.
No, but that's so cool. I mean, that's, that doesn't go away, so you can always
Yeah,
back to
right,
that. Yeah,
right.
no, I don't do that at all. And yeah, I have they're just mixed in with all my
And
journaling.
that's, yeah, I could see how that would be
Yeah,
problematic.
I'll circle it. Like if it's a dream, I'll say dream and I'll circle it.
Yeah, yeah,
Leafing through, I can see that that is something I want to pay attention to. But like to go back into journals, it would be like, oh my God.
yeah, I get that. Right now, everything is on the phone, on my email drafts. If it's a
Yeah.
dream, it's such a dream. It's hard to keep track, but
Mm.
I love to keep track because I believe it's sort of it's our personal mythology.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
the course of the
Yeah, well, that's why I'm always kind of curious, like, what is it? What is a deeper meaning? Obviously, that's what we're looking for, right? A deeper meaning.
yeah,
I mean, yes, sure. Sometimes things are just regurgitating the day or something we saw on TV or some
right.
news or a
Day, that's what we call day residue.
the residue of the day, and your brain
Yeah,
is like
sure.
storing.
And
But
that dream may have been that as well,
right, I
because
mean, it could be because politics is certainly like front and center these
abs-
days.
for me, I guess it has been an important thing
It's an
to keep
important
track of.
right for you in your life. That's been an
Hmm.
you know
Hmm.
part of
Hmm.
your life. So yeah, yeah.
So it
Uh,
could very, very well be day residue, and in which case this would be Freud's wishful thinking. But I believe it's not that, but that's okay. It doesn't matter what I
yeah.
believe. It will
Well,
be what it will be,
yeah, and I
as
think
Aunt
why I
Nina
don't think
says.
why I think it's not wishful thinking too is because you had that more than once with different presidents.
Yeah, right,
So
right. Well, it's a little different,
wishful thinking, but it just, sounds a little like a theme to me. It sounds a little bit more like a more internal theme of, you know,
Yeah. So
and
if
like,
I'm every character in my dream,
Mhm.
what does it mean for me to have a heart attack? And I think what it means is I need to discontinue whatever I had been doing and
Mhm.
make a change,
Yes, like
because
whatever.
it's
Yeah.
not good for my heart, and
Mhm.
therefore I believe it's not good
Yeah.
outside of myself for anybody,
Yeah.
and I need to make a change.
Yeah. That theme works for me too, and I
Yeah,
love that about dreams too, is that even if, the sort of deeper meaning is different for each individual person, sometimes there's like an energetic theme that really can resonate with other people.
that's
So
really so true.
that's changing things from your right, from the deeper heart space, like so
I
that
think
you
that's why in my version of your dream, I could
Mhm.
only reflect on your dream by projection. I could
Right,
imagine how
right,
it feels.
right. We're always only coming from our own psyche, our own,
It's right.
vision,
Yes,
way of looking at things. And sometimes, I mean, just to get into the sort of thing about, exploring dreams together, it's like I we're always going to look at our own dreams in the same way that we look at everything, right? Generally speaking, because we're in our own head, we're in our own mind about how we look at things. And so when I look at my dream, I'm always going to look at it a particular way. You look at it differently. When you project onto my dream, it gives me the opportunity to say, wait, hmm, that's interesting, and like maybe that strikes me as some piece of truth, maybe it doesn't, but it just gives us the ability to have more information, I guess,
absolutely. I
more
love
deeper.
love exploring dreams with you,
Mhm.
because you're coming from a little bit of a different perspective,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
and I'm exactly sure what that perspective is, but
we
it
don't even have to name it.
doesn't matter, right? It doesn't everyone's. their own different interpretation.
It's true. It's true though, this is why I love dream groups. It's because, we had in one of my groups, we had a professional nurse and, I was a teacher and other teachers and a photographer and she was coming from it from a different lens, you know, everybody's coming at
Yeah.
it from a different
Yeah. Yeah.
perspective.
I think it's really interesting to sort of, yeah,
And
be
that's where the aha.
right, right,
You want
right.
to talk about that?
The aha moment where you're like,
Yeah.
oh, wow, this is it, kind of. Yeah, sure, sure. Yeah, yeah, right. Sometimes we get an aha from somebody else's perspective, not our own. Yeah.
Hmm.
Ah,
Hmm.
that feels true. That resonates. And I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yes.
I'm busy in my own, way of looking.
Aha. I love it. It's only called the aha moment. What do they call it when something is named after the sound of it? Oh God.
Automatopoeia.
Onomatopoeia. Aha.
Mhm.
It must
Yeah.
be true. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, is there anything else you want to know, or do you want to riff some more about it, or
Um,
there's any other things I can think of projection wise?
I just did a little more of the detail of the more current dream, whereas with the H.W. Bush dream, it's from my jean shorts. From the H.W. Bush dream, whereas I was, first of all, I was on a train and that was different. And I was holding up his head and
Hmm.
that was very different.
Hmm.
In this dream with Trump, um, it was like it must have been one of these ballrooms that I've seen on a YouTube, whatever. It was like a Trump Epstein ballroom type thing. It was like that. And he had a lot of guys around him.
Hmm.
You weren't gonna get anywhere near him. And and it just happened. Nobody was holding him or touching him. It just happened. And I was there because it was a dream.
Hmm. Hmm. What, and do you make anything of that? What are your thoughts on that?
um, the idea of being untouchable.
Mm.
And but really no one's untouchable.
Well, and
Yeah.
that's, unfortunately in real waking life is is what he projects out there.
Yes.
No matter what,
No, it's true. Survives an
I'm
assassination attempt.
consensus.
He's untouchable. He's untouchable.
Hmm.
New York prosecutors,
Yeah,
untouchable.
right.
And felt like that.
Hmm.
That's really it. I'm just reflecting on
Yeah.
I have a friend who's into who he votes that way and we um we really like each other because he's into manifesting, as am I, and he's very intelligent and great to talk with. But then it starts getting heated. I mean, I don't fight about it, but
Mhm.
he'll start to say this or that or send me this video or that, and I have to write politics free zone. This is a politics free zone. I don't want to hear it. You know,
Yeah.
and then but I don't want it to make to invade our friendship or my relationships. If
Mhm.
people I want politics to remain at the side, and not affect how I relate with my loved ones or many in America relate with their families or
Mhm.
neighbors, whatever.
Mhm.
I don't want it to occupy such a big space in
Yeah.
our world and apparently in my head.
Yeah. 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 No, that's a noble pursuit.
Well,
These days, it didn't used to be such a big deal. Like you could stand over the fence and talk to your neighbor, and they had a differing
yeah,
opinion.
totally. They would have a different sign, and you didn't feel like endangered to
Right.
put a
Right.
different sign up.
Exactly. Or disgusted. That's how I feel.
Right.
Well, I'd be disgusted by anybody who likes. That's, anyway, whatever.
So
Yeah.
So it's been well, this hasn't been that long. It's been a half an hour. We
Mm-hmm.
could continue. And if
Mm-hmm.
someone has a time restraint, they can just turn it off now.
Yeah.
Let's do
Um,
you.
yeah, I have a couple of well, do you feel complete? I don't want to, rush.
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay. Yeah, I've been interesting. Um, there's so much I want to say, but I'm going to just limit it to my dreams that I had last night. I haven't been dreaming that much, and when I am, it's just like usually like a little snippet of something, and it doesn't
Yes.
seem significant. So this is what came to
Okay.
me last night. Um, well, this was actually interesting. I'd gotten off like a boat, and I was in Greece. Like I get off the boat, and I'm in somewhere in Greece, and I feel so emotional, like I'm crying in the dream because I know I'm in the place I'm supposed to be. And that's the whole thing. And I don't know why Greece. I have no idea. I have been to Greece a long,
Have
long,
you? Lovely.
many, many years ago. I did a semester abroad. I did a semester in Israel.
Oh,
A
nice.
person that I met there, this friend and I, we decided on our way home, to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
States,
It's
to
on the
stop off
way.
in Greece, which really was kind of a stopover. So we did, and we, did the little island hopping. You get on the ferry
Love
and
it.
you
Love it.
and stay as long as you want, and then get back on the next ferry that goes back to Athens or whatever. So we did that for I don't know, whatever, a week or so, 10 days maybe, and
When so
that was like 40 like I
for
was.
yeah.
It was a long time ago. I was, let's see, I'm 64, 34, 30, 30. Yeah, like close to 40 years ago, 38 years ago or something.
I love it because for me and in my projection, having this dream and it feeling so right is hearkening me back to who I was then, 40 years ago. And I want to know more about that, Ellen.
Oh, yeah. Hmm. Well, what I remember about that whole time was that the reason that I did this semester abroad was because I was in college at the time. Obviously, you're doing a semester in college, and I was super, super depressed. Like
Hmm.
utter. Okay, this is interesting. Thank you for that question. See, me saying it's really good to tell your dreams to other people because I just thought, what? I don't know, whatever. It was
Yeah.
extreme. I didn't, didn't even think it was worth exploring really. But um, so that I was depressed, but mostly because I was very unfocused. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I was what I wanted to do in life. I didn't know how to focus my energy into anything, that felt valuable to me. Um, yeah, I was just lost. I was just lost. And what I'm going to say about that is I feel the same way right now. I mean, obviously I'm wise. I'm, you know, learned. Like so many years have passed. I've done so much work. And I'm on a whole other level of being like, what in the world am I supposed to be doing now with myself? Like, where is the fulfillment? Where is the, connections, the engagement, the meaning, I'm just literally going through that like great pause. I think you actually said that word pause, or somebody said that to me.
Yeah, that sounds
It's
familiar.
a big, just a pause, and it's not easy. It's the most not easy thing, really, because there's nothing to grab onto, nothing to tether you to the ground, to yourself. It's just like, I don't know anything. I don't know anything spiritually, creatively. I mean, of course, it's not true that I don't know anything, but it feels
Yeah.
like, where am I going? What am I doing? And I am, working on that. I'm actually about to sign up for a coaching program with someone that I very, very much like, and I think will support and help me, to kind of
Wonderful.
that out. But that, notwithstanding,
What I love about it is if
mm,
this is my dream and my life trajectory, I love that it's like the next tier. Still
Mhm.
me, still me in my life, you
Mhm.
know, but higher, higher for me. I'm learned, I'm wise. I've done so many trainings. I'm very what it is. I'm artistic. I can do A, B, C, and D. But again, it's oh yeah, and I'm Ellen, and I'm Yiska. I'm
Mhm.
Jessica. I'm still who I am, and
Mhm.
so that's exciting to me. Feels
Thank
like one is on her path.
Yeah, and I thank you, and I do feel like that. So I'm starting to feel like that little spark of, oh, this isn't just for nothing that I'm like suffering.
Yeah. Yes.
Something is going to get birthed, some new version of myself, and it is
Hmm.
still myself. I am still right.
Yes.
Said it's just this other
And
layer.
that's what I love. Tapping back in with my older self because
Hmm.
it's been one continuous line. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm not a walk-in. I've been here from the
I love that.
beginning. So, I'm still my 3-year-old Jessie.
Mhm.
I'm still my 15-year-old Jessica. It's like I'm still my, 20 years ago or 30 or however 40 years ago, whatever it is. I'm myself every
Right, we are
every
who we
stage.
are.
We are who we are.
Yeah. And
And I feel like it's good to tap in with it.
yes, yeah, and I think maybe it's also just important, like not that this dream is saying that, but just in life, to remember that who we are is actually a good thing. It's a gift. It's like, and
Yeah.
I feel like, oh, I've got to change it all up and be somebody different, and it's so, of
That doesn't work.
course, doesn't work. It's very easy in our culture, I think, the social media to look at other people, and I've said this probably many times on this podcast. The distraction of that, of looking at other
Yeah.
people's lives, and if you're feeling a little bit, you, me, anyone is feeling a little bit unsure or not secure in who you are presenting who you are being in your life,
Yes.
so easy to get swayed or pulled by what you aren't doing enough of, so
That's interesting. I
yeah,
went through a whole thing. I don't know what I was watching YouTube, and all the ladies are so made up so beautifully, and their lips are plush, and and I'm like, it's so as not to be anywhere in that spectrum because I decided on natural, like this is what I usually do. I don't wear makeup day
right.
to day.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know that feeling of like compare, and I always think, oh, I'm beyond that. I don't compare myself with others. But it's
All do, and some
it,
level, maybe some of us more or less than and others.
yeah, yeah. So
So
that
just
was that was
yeah.
my decision I came up with. Okay, just don't wear any makeup. Be like the
Well, I don't
guys.
either. I
Oh,
don't.
the guys actually are also wearing makeup.
Oh, yeah. They're doing their eyebrows. I noticed that. Like,
They're doing so they don't look like old men. They're doing foundation. That's why Trump doesn't look like an old man.
oh,
He's got foundation on.
oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. It's
Hmm.
that orange glow.
Yeah, interesting.
So
Uh,
so tell me more. What else do you need to know from this dream?
well, I think I think I like the idea of like looking at that part of myself and realizing that, oh, in some ways I'm kind of on that in a similar deep internal journey that I was on then, but I didn't know it. I just thought I was depressed. I just called it,
Okay.
but really it was
Yes.
like I'm unsure of where to put myself, where to,
Mhm.
you know, how to, yeah, how to like move forward in life, and that feels like a whole other level of it now. And I think what's interesting is that I was crying in the dream because when I got off the boat, I was like, oh my god, this is where I'm supposed to be, which tells me
Yes.
I'm going to find that. I'm going to find that this is
Oh, that's such a deep feeling.
maybe I should go to Greece. I don't know. I don't know why Greece. I'm not really sure. I mean, I have a friend who's Greek. I don't know,
Who
but
lives there?
no, she lives here.
Oh,
She's she's half Greek and half German. So maybe I've had that. I don't know. I mean, I'm not
Yeah,
consciously, but who
and
knows?
and maybe it's not literal.
It's not literal. Probably it's not literal. Yeah. I mean, those.
Maybe. I mean, it might be. Who knows? I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
fun to wonder about. But
Yeah.
the crying of joy
Yeah.
just brings me so deep inside. Like crying for joy is maybe the deepest feeling a human can have,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Because it also, if you're
Oh,
crying, you're also grateful. If you're
yes.
crying, you're feeling it so deeply
So
that you're
deep.
also
Right.
grateful,
Yes. Absolutely.
and and yeah, crying for
Yeah.
joy.
Yeah. Yeah. It was kind of an amazing feeling. Yeah. And then I had another dream right after that where I was at some kind of a big giant gym, like that there was going to be a party and there was a band in the corner and but there was the band wasn't there, but the setup was there. And I went there and I started to practice, paradiddles. Do you know anything about that? It's like a certain
I
kind of
don't.
paradiddle, whatever. It's just a way of, it's like I don't know what you call that, a mnemonic thing to kind of,
Yeah, yes,
and I used to play percussion, but not like with sticks. But
yeah,
I always thought drumming was cool and whatever. And
absolutely.
so I just go behind the drum kit and I start practicing these paradiddles, and I realize, oh, I can't do it with my left hand. Whatever. I was just kind of a little uncoordinated. And then the drummer comes over to me, and I knew immediately. I was like, oh, I should have asked him if I could play the drum. I just kind of like, and he saw that I was being apologetic, so he's like, yeah, it was not cool, but all right. And then he gives me some other thing, like a piece of chalk or some crayons or something. He puts it on this table, like, here, go do this instead. It was almost like I was a kid, like how you do it with a kid, you deflect.
Because it's like a kid to, without asking, go and start
Right,
playing.
the kid's doing something you don't want them to do, and so instead of saying you're a bad child, you say, hey, let's not do that. Let's do this instead. And that was that. That was that. That's what he did. Yeah, just like diverting my energy. So I don't know what to say about that or how it connects in, but
Makes me feel like a child, a reprimanded child.
I didn't feel like that though. Interesting.
Okay.
I didn't actually feel reprimanded. I felt like he was being
When he
super
gave me
cool.
the crayons.
Gave me like another thing to do that was creative. Like, here, why don't you
Okay.
draw instead or do art? It was almost like drumming, not my thing. And because even specifically when I was doing these rhythms, I was
Oh
like,
yes.
can't do the double tap with my left hand. Paradiddle, paradiddle. That's what it is. It's like you kind of back and forth with
This
para.
would be really good occupational therapy for me.
Right? Yeah, it actually really is. You can even take two
Yeah,
sticks and kind of hit them like a drum. Yeah, it's
I
good for
got it.
mind, mind, hand.
Yeah, yes, yes, yes. And it's like a
Um,
full meditation because you're counting and
you have to count, you
you're
have to think,
saying it.
say the word in your head, and
Paradiddle. I love it.
diddle is to diddle, right on.
Yeah,
Anyway, I do it with the left hand. So, because I'm not left-handed. Anyway, I don't know what
yeah.
that is, but
So that's interesting. So in that case, if I don't feel reprimanded,
mhm.
um, what am I feeling in the dream?
um, I think I'm just feeling a little remorseful, like I know better, a little shame, maybe. I guess
Okay.
I do feel a little shame in the dream, like I should know better. I should have asked him. Like I
Yeah.
know I'm an adult, like I know better to just go to somebody's musical instruments and pick them. Uh, and at the same time, there was something about me exploring drumming that felt
Yeah.
cool, like exciting a little bit, like fun and exciting. And
Yeah.
I don't think that's literal either. Although I did love drumming when I was doing that, when I was in that stage of
Well, I
life.
want to be, oh, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I
Mhm.
just want to be brought back to that time also because we're
Mhm.
doing so much back looking in
Yeah.
these dreams. So
Yeah.
I felt good when I was a drummer. I don't have it right. I don't have that impulse right now.
Mhm.
But who was Ellen when I was a drummer?
And actually, interestingly, I kind of do have an impulse to do that. Like, there's a part of me
Mm,
that was like, I was really good at it. I was good at
like
hand
a
drumming,
frame drum?
not frame drumming, like
Uh-huh.
jefe.
Yeah.
djembe and
Yes. Yes.
congas and djembe. I mean, when I say good at, I mean I was learning and I was pretty
Yeah.
good, for where I was at.
Yeah.
And I did what I kind of typically do, which is when I start to get good at something and it starts to get harder because you have to practice more. I go, okay, I'm done. Not fun anymore. Like I'm not going to be the best drummer. So I thought, but I loved being, participant like
In
in
a
like
drum circle.
African drumming circle where everybody's got a part and it's
This
kind of
is
nice.
making me feel like I want to do this.
Yeah. So there's something, and also I think there's an African drum festival this weekend here in Santa Fe.
Oh,
And
definitely. I want to go.
so I think that I've been thinking about, oh, maybe I should just go take a drum class, but
But
so
maybe ask the person if you can play their drum at the
yeah,
drum
maybe ask a little bit, maybe
circle.
ask myself, like give myself permission,
Right.
if I'm looking at it that way. So I
That's
don't.
exciting. I feel like that's indicating to me as dreamer that I absolutely must get myself to that drumming festival.
Yeah, it is a certain kind of energy that nothing
Yeah,
else quite satisfied, like just that. I
absolutely.
have a lot of
Absolutely.
that energy right now. I've also been, I've been feeling really angry. I've been just feeling like that, just angry, like edgy and angry,
Ooh, edgy.
and like not sure where to put that, like what to do with that. It's like almost a physicalized energy, like so maybe that's a good place to.
Physicalized energy. I love that.
Anyway, I love
Yeah. Well,
degree. That one somehow is feeling more meaningful.
I love it. Yeah, well, I really do hope you go. If, you know, I'm just writing down physicalized energy. That's
Hmm.
amazing. Say
Yeah.
more about that if you can.
Well, just like whatever energy, like being in the physical body. I mean,
Like,
that's very much like my way in the world.
yeah, okay, yes.
Astrology, Aries rising, Mars and Aries. It's very like it's a lot of physical.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't move my body. That's why I like dance and movement so much.
I
Like
love that.
I think I would literally become a complete, like I just
Yeah.
it'd be really hard for me. I mean, it's
That
hard. Sure, it's hard for maybe it's
it's but
hard for
it's hard
everybody.
for me now. No.
Hard for
Well,
you.
that's awesome because and
Yeah,
that's
just
showing if I'm the dreamer of earlier dreams, that's showing me how much more I know myself now. When I was, in my 20s, I didn't went to Greece. I may have felt this love. I didn't really know myself, but now I know myself. I
Mhm.
know what I need. I know when the energy is getting real physical. I know I'm gonna possibly and hopefully go to this drum circle, and this is this is a different level, like I was saying, up
Yeah,
another rung.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, maybe it's about seeing all the things that I've already done and that I already have and
Yes.
visiting them on this other level rather than feeling like I need to do something new again,
Mm,
learning a new thing or a new skill. It's like going
right.
back and like getting the next level
Oh yes.
out of it.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Maybe I need to go visit Greece too. I don't know.
I
It is
might need I might need to come with you this time.
good.
In my dream of your dream, you're
We're
going in,
going to Greece.
you're going to Greece. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for sharing your
Thank you.
exciting dream.
Well, yeah.
A lot of looking back. I was looking back at
Yeah, right.
politicians past, and we were
Mhm,
looking back at past um, versions of self,
mhm,
when I was this old, when I was this old.
mhm,
So
mhm.
it's very reflective.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I wonder if it's the time of year too somehow.
Oh, I know, going into right the end of summer. It's the
Yeah.
waning days of summer.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Something about things dying off, but I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah, not even yet. We've had, I saw one area of a tree here that's yellowing.
sure.
It's not popped yet. I mean,
No, no, it's totally
we're
still
not, we're
to it.
not even there. We're still, yeah.
Yeah. And when school starts, I say that in quotes, because
Yeah,
school, but it still has that feeling. And also, the Jewish New Year comes around these
Yep.
times,
Yep.
generally speaking, and
Hmm.
so it like feels like, it's time to get the new notebook and pencils out, and it's time to get
Yes.
organized. It's very Virgo, Virgo season.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Very
I
much
grew
about
I grew up with a Virgo sister and a
yeah,
Virgo father.
yeah. Oh, so
This
yeah.
is our family month.
Mhm,
My dad, my grandma, my sister, my
mhm,
older son.
mhm.
Um, there's probably other things too I can't think of. But
Yeah.
what I wanted to say is today is Lev's second day of high school.
Oh my gosh, how's
Ah,
how's he doing?
he's doing good. He's doing good.
Good, wonderful, wonderful.
Yes.
Growing up. Oh my God,
Growing up,
little one. Yep.
I know, I know. It's amazing. His dad sent me a picture of him just for his second day, and or more so yesterday, the picture of him yesterday. I'm like, wait, that's my little boy. Like he can't be going to high school. He
Mhm.
looked too little. It looked like it was a picture from his little years. I mean, it was just that I can't. And then today's picture was like, okay, that's a high school kid.
Right. In your mind, he
In
still
my
looks.
okay, I had a day to adjust.
Yeah. Cool. All
So
right.
thank you, Ellen.
Thank you. And
Thank you, listeners.
till next time, have deep and meaningful and creative dreams.
And remember to record them.
Yes.
Holamod Metukin.